Hey, it's Shamaree. I'm a marriage and family therapist turned intimacy coach and relationship expert, and I empower women to be fully uninhibited and fulfilled in their intimate and sexual relationships. Hi, I am back. Today we're going to be talking about sexual confidence and how you can go about finding that, building that, so that you are having the best possible experiences. So I'm going to go over like 5 components to sexual confidence, and talk a little bit about what each of those look like, what that means, and I'll probably give you a little bit of tidbits, examples, and things like that throughout. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can go ahead and drop that in the chat. If you're watching the replay, you can hashtag replay and drop it in the comments, and I will get back to you there. So first things first, when it comes to sexual confidence, I break it down into 5 components. So when I'm working with clients, that's kind of the approach that I take. So the first one is going to be body confidence. And people who feel confident in their body are more able to enjoy their sexual experiences. So that's where that is coming from. If you're constantly worrying about if your rolls are showing here, if they see your double chin, or if this angle is flattering or not, then you're not really in the moment. You're not going to enjoy the experience because you're not in the moment feeling what's going on. You're in your head worrying about how you look. So when it comes to body confidence, this improves your intimate relationships, like I said, because it allows you the freedom to show yourself and to fully be yourself. But it also has positive impacts on your physical health and your mental health. So this is more than just sex when it comes to body confidence. But there's 3 kind of categories when I work with clients to break down how they can work on their confidence. And that's just not sexual confidence. This is all confidence, but obviously that's going to help with the sexual confidence as well. So one is going to be comfort. What things are you comfortable with? So on your body, if you look at your body, of course, there's going to be things that we're a little bit more comfortable with showing than others, more comfortable with and how we see ourselves versus other parts of our body. So that's pretty normal, pretty standard. So if you can focus on those things that you are comfortable with and willing and wanting to highlight, that can help to boost your body confidence. The second thing would be compliments. So when it comes to compliments, people tend to compliment things that they find visually appealing. Hey. And with that, sometimes we don't always believe what people say is attractive about us. But what I challenge all of my clients and all of you to do as well is when people are giving you compliments, I don't care if you believe them or not. That's irrelevant. I want you to find why they are right. So if they are telling you that you have a beautiful smile, or that your arms are really nice, your legs are amazing, I want you to figure out why that is true. I don't care if you believe it, if you know that you have this big scar here and they just don't see it. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. I want you to figure out why they are right. And I want you to focus on all of the evidence that you have for why they are right. And that will also help towards building that body confidence up. And then the last section of body confidence would be functionality. So I want you to think about all of the wonderful things that your body allows you to do, all of the wonderful things that your body allows you to experience, and focus on those things. So body confidence is the number one thing, and you want to focus on comfort. What am I comfortable with? What do I want to highlight? What do I want to show? You want to put your best foot forward. You want to show them what you got. Focus on that. Also compliments. If people are giving you compliments, all of those people cannot be wrong. You very well may be the wrong one, right? So find why they're right. And then functionality. Your body allows you to do things on a daily basis. It gives you nourishment. It allows you to function. If you are able-bodied, you're able to walk. Maybe you're able to get to work, to school, whatever it is that you have going on. It allows you to experience pleasure. It allows you so many things. I want you to really focus on those things, and that helps with body confidence. Another thing that I always encourage, and sometimes people, they feel weird about it if they're not used to seeing themselves, but mirror work. You hear it all the time.
spend time in the mirror looking at yourself, and also make sure that you're posing, that you're getting into different positions, because I rarely, very rarely see myself from the back, right? So the only time I'm going to have that experience is if somebody shows a picture of me doing that, or if I'm standing in the mirror trying to check it out, right? So I have to go looking so that I can find what I feel most comfortable with. Goes back to comfort, right? There may be positions that I feel like I look better in, or if I lean back when I'm on top versus leaning forward, maybe I feel like it looks better. It might even feel better, but I don't know that until I'm doing it. So try putting yourself in different positions, try looking at yourself from different angles so that you can see what you really like, and you might find that you got some good angles that you had no idea about. So body confidence, that's going to be the number one of the 5 components of sexual confidence. Number 2, which is another huge one, this is going to be open-mindedness. So people who are open-minded are having better sex, period. A lot of times when people are coming to me, a lot of times they're having issues in their relationships, they're having issues in their sexual relationships, their intimate relationships, and they can tell me everything that they don't like, that is not working out for them. But whenever we're getting to the point where, okay, now it's time for us to do something about it, right? They're very closed off to certain ideas, right? They are opposed to scheduling sex. They're opposed to trying it at a different time of day. They just can't work it out. Like, I'm so busy, I don't have time, I can't. And being closed off to all of these new ideas is going to close you off to all of the new pleasures, the new things that you can be experiencing, the new confidence that you might find by doing these new things, right? And so I always say, if you're ready to change, we have to actually do the change. It's very easy to say these things aren't working, but we got to do something new. If what you've been doing has left you unsatisfied, has left you feeling insecure, you're not confident, you're not comfortable, then you have nothing to lose. Like, if we try something new and you're still feeling not confident, you're still feeling dissatisfied, that's not any different than what you're feeling right now. So we really have nothing to lose, and we have everything that we can possibly gain. So let's try something new. Let's be open-minded. And I know humans, naturally, we can be very judgmental. And we can be closed off to things that we don't understand, or things that we don't have enough information about. We can be very opposed to those things. But I challenge you to show up with curiosity, and like I said, with the compliments thing, try to figure out why that might be interesting. So if there's a new idea, maybe a new position, or a new kink, or even just a new time of day, a new location, like, try to see why that might be helpful, why it might be exciting, why it might be something that gives you a better experience. And so being open to these new ideas, these new alternatives, these new things, like I said, leaves room for new pleasures. And the more that we're enjoying what we're doing, the more excitement that we have in it, the more confident we feel. And then number 3 is going to be knowing pleasure. Again, they're all big ones. I'm going to say that for everyone. This is important, though, because you need to know what you like. You need to know what feels pleasurable in order to feel confident in going into experiences with other people. So knowing pleasure, this is in and outside of sex. So, of course, we're talking about sexual confidence. So this is going to be within the realm of sex, but knowing pleasure outside of sex helps you to identify it within sex and intimate relationships as well. So what feels good to you? What feels good with you? And also, what do you think would feel good for other people? What evidence do you have that you've provided pleasure for someone else? And being able to take components of that into your next experience. And this is why you will hear every sexual educator, sex therapist ever tell you that you need to be touching yourself, because this is a way that you can figure this out. You don't have to rely on a partner or anyone else to help you figure it out. You can start to figure this out yourself. So if you're single, you're not in a relationship, sometimes people, they'll write me, they'll think they want to set up a call with me, they want to work with me, but they're like, but I don't have a partner, so I don't even know if that's something that we can work on. Yes, it is. You don't need anyone else to determine or to help you to find pleasure. You can do that all by yourself. And so definitely figuring out what that is, and that goes back to the open-mindedness, because it is going to take you being open-minded enough to try different things, try touching yourselves in different ways, different places, different locations, different times, changing temperature, changing pressure, maybe even utilizing objects and toys and all of the things, so that you can really identify not only that, okay, maybe I like clitoral stimulation, but in what ways? Do I like a lot of pressure? Do I like indirect touch? Do I like circular motions? Do I like up and down motions? Do I like suction? Do I like blowing? Like, you are able to really identify very specifically, and the more that we're able to identify those things very specifically, the easier it is for us to share that with other people. And hopefully they're doing the same, so that when they show up, they know exactly what they like as well, and that just makes for a better experience. And the more that you're able to show up and know exactly what you want, exactly how you want to do it, that also aids to that confidence. You're going to feel more confident the more that you're able to show up in that way. So that's number 3. If you're just tuning in, we're going over sexual confidence and how we can actually find that. For me, I break that down into 5 components. The first one is going to be body confidence and feeling comfortable and confident in the body that you have as it is. Number 2 is going to be open-mindedness, and people who are open-minded have better sex, period. You can't be closed to new ideas, because you're potentially closing yourself off to new pleasures that you can be having. And then number 3 that we just went over is knowing pleasure, knowing what that looks like, what that feels like for you very specifically, so that you're able to share that with whomever you may encounter. And then number 4 is going to be expression of needs. So this comes down to communication. A lot of people have a very rough time with communication because of their approach. So a lot of times people, they may be saying what they need or what they want, but the way that they're expressing it is off-putting to the other person. So whenever I do work with clients, I also help them with approach, not just identifying what those needs are, but how you're sharing that with other people is important if you want your needs to be met, right? And so first, you got to know pleasure, which is why that came before expressing it. So once I know what it is, I know how I like it, what I want, when I want, then I can go ahead and share with you how I need that done and where, how I would prefer it. And this kind of goes into discussion of boundaries and things of that sort. Hopefully, like I said, they're doing this work as well, and so they can meet you there. If not, then your example sometimes is enough. They can kind of meet you there. But being able to express what you like, what you don't like, all of that, like I said, boundaries. And then the last one is going to be self-efficacy. And if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much like the belief in yourself that you're able to accomplish whatever it is that you're setting out to accomplish, right? And so within the realm of sex, this would be the idea that you can be successful in your sexual encounters, in getting your needs met, experiencing the pleasure that you desire, and maybe vice versa, maybe providing that pleasure to someone else. And so this is something, again, very general, like confidence in general, self-efficacy in general, goes back to your belief in yourself and your ability. But with self-efficacy, it's very specific to the performance, the things that you're doing. So with this practice, so the more that you're able to do something, typically the better you are at it. Even people who are naturally gifted at things, so if you think about like basketball players, tennis players, like some people, yeah, when they first started, they were probably good, like they were probably decent, but they still practice all the time in order to be better. And so that's kind of the idea behind this. The more that you're able to do it, the more that you're going to believe that you can do it, because you've shown that you can do it over time. And for me personally, this was kind of like a game changer. So once I was able to kind of get out of my head in my experiences and really sit back and observe and be present in the moment, my self-efficacy, my sexual sex confidence went up once I was able to really notice how I was providing pleasure for my partner, right? So seeing the reaction, so the body changes, the sounds, the breathing patterns, you notice like they're really into it, they're really enjoying it. That shows me that I'm doing a wonderful job and that just makes me feel more confident, right? Like you can't tell me nothing like at that point. And so this is something that, like I said, was very changing for me, because yes, it's great if I'm able to feel pleasure and all of those things, but I think my sexual sex confidence went up. It went up more once I realized not only am I finally in my body, but me being in my body helps me to better aid someone else in experiencing pleasure. So again, we're going to review the 5 components. First one, body confidence. We got to at least accept our body as it is, in order to not be worried about how we look and if this angle is weird. We want to be present in the moment. Open-mindedness. Sometimes it's the thing that you think is weird, the thing that you think is nasty, that you really needed to do because that is the most pleasurable thing that you will experience. So I usually say, if you have a very, very strong no, like there's something maybe in your past, or a trigger of some sort, if you have trauma, then obviously if it's a hard no, then it's a hard no. But if it's something that you just are ignorant about, you don't have a lot of information, it sounds like it may be weird, you're not too sure, nobody you know is doing it, or they're not telling you that they're doing it because they probably are, then I say at least try it once, and see how you feel about it before you make a judgment that it's an absolute no for you, because you might find that it is kind of good. You might like it. Number 3 is knowing pleasure. So exploring, and when you're trying these new and different things, really taking note of how your body is reacting, and that kind of goes back to the open-mindedness as well. Sometimes because we have a preconceived notion about something, so we go into the experience like, I'm not gonna like this is not gonna be good, and now our body might really like it, but because we're thinking that this is nasty or weird, now we're not really enjoying what's going on. So knowing pleasure, really tapping in and figuring out what feels good and not judging yourself for it. Everyone's different. People are into all sorts of things, I promise you. Like, it's not weird. You like what you like. It's okay. And it's okay to allow yourself permission to do it. Number 4 is going to be expression of needs. So we need to know what we like, what we need, and what feels good and what's great. But we also need to be able to express that to someone else. And the more that we can practice saying those things, even if we just practice to ourselves, again, get yourself in the mirror, start talking, saying it out loud, voice notes, write it down, whatever you need to do. Practice, so that when you are and with someone, you can finally express it very clearly, so that they're able to understand, but then also very tactfully so that they're receptive. And so we don't want to be accusatory or say, well, you never do this and this is what I really need, because that's not going to work. It's not going to get you what you want at all. And then 5, self-efficacy, so the belief that you are able to do the things, like you're able to have great sex, that you're able to enjoy it, that you're able to provide pleasure to yourself and to others, and feeling very strong and confident in that belief. So those are the 5 components. If this is confusing, you got additional questions or anything like that, then definitely let me know. Drop it in the comments. I got you. I'm also accepting one-on-one clients. So if you feel like this is something that you really want to work on, and you need someone to keep you accountable, because we are like over 90% more successful when we have accountability. If you need that, I got you there too. Schedule your free breakthrough call with me. The link is in my bio. You get that free breakthrough call and we can talk about how we can work one-on-one together so we can get you there. Because it's possible, I promise you. I used to think that, oh, I'm just not a sexy person. Oh, I can't like, that's just not me. That's not how I am. Like, I wasn't built that way. But wrong. I was just telling myself that to try to make myself feel better, but I wasn't actually making myself feel better. What made me feel better is actually doing the things in order to become more confident, to be a sexual person, and to be okay with that. And so it's possible, I promise. I've been there on the other side, not just in a professional capacity, but I've been on the other side, the person who's looking for it, trying to figure it out, and struggling. It can happen. I got you. Like I said, drop comments. But that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I need to go eat lunch, so I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.